Chapter 21. Reconstruction. The city felt quieter after the storm of their battle, as if it too was catching its breath. For Anna Petrov and the other wives, the aftermath of their victory over Helen Radcliffe was both a relief and a beginning. The power vacuum Radcliffe's fall created was a double-edged sword, an opportunity to rebuild, but also a challenge to maintain control. Inside Anna's estate, the wives gathered in the library. The scars of their fight were evident in their tired expressions, but their determination remained unbroken. The ledger, once a symbol of Radcliffe's dominance, now lay on the table as a tool of their reconstruction. Maria Gonzalez stood by the window, her arms crossed. "Radcliffe's gone, but her allies aren't. We've cut the head off the snake, but the body's still writhing." Sophia Russo sat with her fingers intertwined, her voice measured. "We have the ledger. It's our map to dismantling what's left of her network. If we're careful, we can neutralize the threats before they become problems." Laura Williams leaned against the wall, her gaze sharp. "Careful isn't enough. We need to move fast, or someone else will step into the void she left." Anna nodded, her presence as commanding as ever. "Then we move forward. Maria, you'll handle the financial assets we've seized. Sophia, continue using your contacts to monitor any power plays. Laura, I want every safe house and ally of Radcliffe's neutralized. This isn't just about cleaning up. It's about setting the rules moving forward." Maria's maneuvering. Maria spent her days buried in financial documents, tracing the flow of money that had sustained Radcliffe's empire. With every frozen account and seized asset, she redirected funds to strengthen their own infrastructure, security teams, legitimate businesses, and community projects that would ensure loyalty. She met with one of their trusted accountants, laying out her plans. "We invest in visibility, community centers, scholarships, small businesses. We make sure the city sees us as benefactors, not just survivors." The accountant nodded, impressed by her vision. "And the offshore accounts?" Maria's eyes were sharp. "We'll keep them. A hidden reserve for when the next storm comes." Sophia's outreach. Sophia returned to her gallery, but it was no longer just a sanctuary. It had become a hub for quiet negotiations and subtle diplomacy. She met with influencers, politicians, and even former associates of Radcliffe, carefully weaving a network that would support their growing influence. At one such meeting, a former ally of Radcliffe's approached her with trepidation. "I didn't agree with everything she did," he admitted, "but I stayed because I didn't have a choice." Sophia's smile was kind but firm. "Now you do. Work with us, and you'll find your loyalty rewarded. Cross us, and you'll face the same fate she did." The man nodded, understanding the balance of power had shifted. Laura's neutralization. Laura operated in the shadows, systematically dismantling the remnants of Radcliffe's network. She led raids on hidden caches, exposed corrupt officials, and ensured that those who posed a threat were dealt with swiftly and decisively. One night, she confronted a lieutenant who had evaded their grasp during the warehouse raid. Pinning him against a wall in a deserted alley, she held a knife to his throat. "Radcliffe's gone," Laura said coldly. "But if you think you can fill her shoes, think again. You either disappear or you work for us. Choose now." The man trembling chose survival, Anna's vision. Anna oversaw it all, her mind always 5 steps ahead. She met with community leaders, legal advisors, and even media outlets to craft a narrative that positioned the wives as a force for good. They were no longer just survivors. They were architects of a new order. At a press event for a new community center funded by their efforts, Anna spoke to a crowd. Her voice was strong, confident. "We've faced trials that could have broken us, but instead, they forged us into something stronger. This city deserves better, and we're here to ensure it thrives." The applause was thunderous, a sign that their strategy was working. A quiet evening. For the first time in weeks, the wives gathered not to plan, but to reflect. They sat on Anna's terrace, the city lights twinkling in the distance. Glasses of wine in hand, they allowed themselves a rare moment of peace. Maria raised her glass. "To rebuilding, and to making sure no one ever takes what's ours again." Sophia smiled. "To the future we've earned." Laura nodded. "To strength." Anna's gaze swept over her allies, her voice soft but firm. "To queens who rule their own destiny." As their glasses clinked, the weight of their journey settled over them. They had survived the storm, but the work was far from over. Together they were ready to face whatever came next.